Thanks for joining talkSPORT. Good to talk to you again. You've interviewed with Will before, and what is today like where you're around all of these kids and they're learning the game. You're really passing on the game in a different way to future generations.
Yeah. So, number one thing, I came here last year. So this year was kind of great because I actually get to come and see how did it involve, like how did what we did last year touch people as far as them getting more people to join and how many people actually joined. So when we first got here, I got the news that we got close to or around 300 and some girls that's joined. We joined, 4 or 5 new teams. Yeah. Up to 28 right now, looking to try to get to like 32 next year. So usually when I put out a number like that, you just got to make it happen. We're going to speak it into existence. So the game has changed a lot, and the biggest thing is that exposure that we want as far as like the American football, starting with flag football.
Flag football, when you're probably not that much younger than me. When I was growing up, like you would do it kind of occasionally in the backyard, but it wasn't like a sport, right? It was, you were playing padded football.
More like throw get bust or something like that. Little game,
But it is just exploded to the point that it's going to be in the Olympics in 2028. Tyreek Hill's out there. Yeah, Tyreek Hill's out there talking about like, I want to be on part of that team. You might have NFL stars part of that team. What's it like from your perspective, having grown up playing football, to also see this explosion of flag football to where people are playing it in the United Kingdom, they're playing it in America. It's going to be in the Olympics next time.
Man, it's crazy because you played as a little kid where you're basically making up the rules as you go. And then all of a sudden you get to a point where you grow up, and as you're growing up, you're seeing what I consider like evolution of the game. So it's more like basketball. So we came out, you see how they played it in different countries and stuff like that. So then you see football is taking that next step right now. So going around the world, most people just look at American football as like this gladiator type sport. But it's actually like poetry into this. So you get to see it in flag football. You see all the moves, you see all the special made plays, you see all the highlight type catches and stuff. And that's what I wanted to bring or highlight with the flag football. And then also that like it's not always about the big hits. Like there are also positive things that's not big hits, you feel me? So there's other fun you can do, women, men.
There's a lot of athleticism and a lot of teamwork going on out there.
Yeah. The biggest football is probably the only sport that you need. Soccer too though. So football over basketball is more I'm talking about, where it's not just a one person army. Like you need all 11. I need to throw the ball to somebody. Also, I need you to cover somebody to help me out. So it's one of those sports everybody has to be on the same page.
Speaking of being on the same page, a reset for the team, for your team, going in this offseason. Aaron Glenn comes in. That's going to directly impact you, obviously, in a good way. Somebody with a ton of experience, a ton of respect.
Ton of energy.
Yeah, and we saw what he did with Detroit, right? I mean, he was in demand. What do you think he's going to bring to the Jets?
Man, the first thing he said when we talked, man, was like, look at my resume. And for me, that was a big thing because you can tell me one thing, but it's more like, all right, I can hear you talking, but we're going to wait when you get here and see what it is. Man, when you look at his resume, man, from the Lions, when they went through what they call a rebuild year, and what they did after that is one of those things where it's like, I'm putting it on tape, I'm putting it in your face. So why shouldn't you believe me? Why shouldn't you come out here with an open mind come OTAs or training camp? So with that being said, bro, I'm just making sure whatever message he's trying to get to the team, I'm saying it loud and clear, and we all on the same page.
I remember we talked to you last year about Aaron Rodgers. He's obviously moved on, but what was it like, your experience with Aaron, being in the locker room with him, seeing everything that he committed, coming back from the injury? Seems like a lot of people don't really understand the real Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, man, especially with a lot going on, everything going out, different media points hitting on that. Man, he's one person, bro. He ain't got time to be trying to correct everybody or none of that. But anybody who asks me, great guy from the first time he came in, as far as like correcting me on the field and being a pro off the field. Actually encouraged me to start doing this type of stuff. So it's like getting your portfolio together before you finish football.
Expanding your life resume, yeah.
So yeah, and that's off the field. And then on the field, he pulling me to the side like, hey, Q, let me talk to you. Why did you do that? Man, because you did this right here. And then he was like, well, if I would have did this, what you would have did. So it's one of those things where, like, a Hall of Fame quarterback is asking me my perspective on football. Like, man, you done played against a lot of good linebackers. Why you asking my perspective?
Because he cares about football.
Yeah, he cares about football. He cares about winning. That's the crazy thing. Like, he cares about football, cares about winning, but he cares about how the people in his locker room feel about him. That's the main thing. So all the conversations outside, he not really worried about. It's about the guys in the locker room that he played with next to, that trust him when the ball get in his hand.
You have any feel for where you think he might go?
No, I ain't got no fear, right? Like I said, I'm keeping an open mind this whole year. It's a lot of
Raiders.
stuff going on.
He might stay in New York. Giants.
Man, they said we got to see how the draft go. I heard as far as like I've been hearing Shadir going to the Raiders though.
Yeah.
You feel, just through media points. None under the
You're
table.
not saying it, I've seen that too. Yeah.
You feel me? It's more like at the table talking. You feel me? At the dinner table talking, but yeah.
Speaking of the draft, Travis Hunter. I'm sure you've watched him. You've seen the highlights.
I want to see him in the league. I'm encouraged.
That's what I'm saying. So you play, right? And you
Yeah.
play at a high level. Like to me, that is impossible to do what he's trying to do. But he has a talent to do it.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm encouraging him to do it. Be the first one to do it.
Yeah.
I ain't seen nobody doing it, but it ain't gonna hurt. You feel me? They also got this DN from Ole Miss.
See, you know your stuff.
So listen, he played tight end. So I watched the East-West Shrine game.
Yeah.
He caught an interception at the end. Then he scored a touchdown, tight end, scored a touchdown, running back. Like, come on now. We got to figure out how to use him.
Would that be? There's, I don't know if you follow baseball or not, but Shohei Ohtani, obviously with the Dodgers, he can pitch and hit. But to play wide receiver and cornerback in the NFL consistently, would that be just an absolutely incredible athletic feat that we've almost never seen before?
Yeah, it'd be one of those things that make him a good on both sides, because think about that corner, him knowing the routes and how the offense is thinking helps him out as far as like playing zone or playing man or his count. Wide receiver, I know what zone you in, I know how many people you got. Man, he gonna really have the best of both worlds, so I'm excited to see how it go though. As far as like the count though, that's what it's gonna be.
The snap count.
Snap count, and then like throughout the week how his practices and stuff go. So that'll be the only fine tuning they got to do. But as far as like him, in my head, playing cornerback, starting at cornerback, but then having a package on offense. That's how I'm thinking it.
One more for you.
If I play Madden, when he get here on Madden, that's how I'm using him.
One more for you. I really appreciate your time. What about for you this year, this off season? You mentioned kind of expanding your portfolio, but obviously you want to keep taking a step forward on the field. What are you looking forward to this year? What are you trying to accomplish?
On the field, number one, being the leader. Last year, I felt like when CJ went down, the voice of the team was more like everyone had a voice on the team, but there wasn't that one person that brought everyone together as far as like in the players' locker room. So this year, just taking it upon myself, just getting my mental together, as far as like off the field with just myself, so I can be able to lead other people because I can lead myself. That, and then also I got to get these turnovers this year. I done dropped so many in the set. I only got one in my whole career. I probably dropped like 20. So that, and then also I want to probably try the mic position out.
Oh.
Yeah, right now I'm playing Will, doing a lot of covering and stuff. Coming on to start being the quarterback of the defense, see how that goes.
Taking that next step in your NFL career.
Yeah, it's about that time.
With Aaron Glenn as your head coach, and he knows
defensive background. Defensive background. So new scheme coming in, so everybody's gonna be learning the scheme at the same time together. So it's really gonna come down to how invested you are.
Really appreciate your time, man. Thank you very much. Good seeing you again.
Appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
All right.